I'm here at the headquarters of Siam Modular in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I'm joined by Unsaved State.
Hello, I'm Pete.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Marco.
Show us what you got.
How Unsaved State was birthed was through, we're three artists that come from different backgrounds with not a lot of time, so the project came about where we decided to just meet up on an evening, have some jams like we are right now, and the project just sort of spiraled into something bigger.
I think for me it came from the fact that I never get any music finished, so this is a way to do music without having to finish it.
So what about the name Unsaved State? Where'd that come from?
Like every band has this problem of coming up with a genius name. Everyone's like, no. Eventually we came up with the name Unsaved State. It tells you we are on the stage. We never save anything.
The whole point is Unsaved State. We turn up and we jam. We don't have anything pre-prepared. So that's why we can be awesome and not quite so good.
So how would you describe your combined musical style?
We come from many different places, so we're a mixture. I'm all about the breakbeat, and we have a lot of that included into our sets. We also have Marco that generally focuses on 4 to the floor.
I think my style is definitely very electronic, but I think we all are because it's defined, our style is defined by the machines, really. The fundamental things is the machines we have and the voices we have. And then we can play with style using those kits, those voices, those sounds.
So as well as being Unsaved State, you're all individual artists in your own right.
Yeah, I have 2 monikers, Electromass and Neuroscientist. But generally it's all breakbeat, glitch hop, ghetto funk, drum and bass. So I'm really into rhythms and bass, and that's sort of what I do at Unsaved State.
Nice one. What about Marco?
Yeah, my background is in trance actually. Trance and progressive house. I'm kind of the melody maker. I like to write songs, so that's my role here as well.
Yeah, so I'm Red Drum these days, and I started that since I came to Chiang Mai in Thailand, really. So I DJ locally. I have a live modular act.
And how did you end up here in Chiang Mai?
So as a DJ producer back in the UK, at one point I went traveling to Thailand. I was a bit of a digital nomad, sort of just traveled around Southeast Asia, and I kind of ended up here. Met my partner, now I have a family, and really it was when I had my first kid, when I decided I'm gonna be here. I can like get my studio equipment back over.
So Pete, where exactly are we here?
Fucking hell,
What year is it? So this is Siam Modular. We are above the workshop downstairs where people manufacture our Eurorack modules. We have a large range of modules, mostly discrete or parts of a synth voice. Upstairs here is basically our practice room. It's also my living room and my studio, but it gets its most use music-wise when Unsaved State come here to jam.
When you're performing live, what exactly are you doing?
In terms of rhythm, I have some pre-programmed patches on here. I can also go in and edit those patches across in the step mode. I'm muting a lot of stuff, unmuting, soloing. I can also do repeats and triggers, which plays a lot into feels and how I make it sound more live and more interesting and engaging. When it comes to playing my bass, I generally am just using a keyboard and playing stuff in, so I can either play the keyboard live or I can play ARPs and other and sequences with this. I generally keep this quite basic because generally bass lines we just want like a floor and generally more just subby because Marco's doing a lot of musical stuff. And then I have my mixing. I generally treat this like DJing. So I have the main channels, the bass and the drums come in here, Pete comes in here, or his acid sounds, and Marco comes in here. And then I have the Chaos Pad, which is very expressive, hands-on live instrument. I've got a nice analog filter here, so I can do builds and do the interplay, especially with this trigger here. And then we actually rag both this and this, so we're sort of using the analog circuitry in the output of this to basically soft clip, saturate the sound. And that's basically my setup and how I keep it live. Like I'm riding the faders, I'm messing with the drums. Sometimes it's too much, but that's the fun of Unsaved State, trying to make it all work together.
How did you end up in Thailand joining an acid house band?
Oh, well, it's a weird story. When I was in university studying sound tech, I met my now wife, who was an animator there, who's Thai, and I followed her over to Thailand when I was young and started to work in events, festivals, and club nights, as well as teaching English. Previously, breakbeat, drum and bass is sort of my background. So this modular unit I actually use for these other projects where it's more about big bass sounds, modulation, lots of resampling with the Chaos Pad, etc.
So Marco, you've got something different going on here. Do you want to tell us a bit about your setup?
So this is basically the only computer running here. I'm doing all the chords and melodies, and for all of that, for the flexibility, we need a computer. I'm running a few plugins, virtual instruments, samplers, things like this. So everything that you see here is basically a slot that you can play, all of these. So I'm a keyboard player. So I play with this keyboard basically everything in. And that's how all the melodies form. I have a couple of things here, monosynths, a COBOL and an MSW. Everything else here is basically in the box. So I'm kind of the odd bird of the band because I'm the kind of guy with the computer. But it's I promise you I'm not looking at my emails. No time for that.
Well, nothing saucy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your solo project?
Yeah, sure. So Ian Lights is basically a melodic trance progressive house project. I do a lot of songwriting, write songs for other people as well. Originally I came to Chiang Mai, to Thailand, to set up my own studio because it was unaffordable back home in Finland. It kind of grew from there. I've been working with artists and on my solo projects as well. So yeah, melodic music, that's basically all me.
And finally, we're going to head over to PT to see what you've got going on.
So the heart of my setup is really the modular here, and that is mostly like a very flexible mono synth voice, and that's made up of these cab modules here. Little sneak peek for you. Here's our CLFO, never been seen on camera before. It's not out yet, hasn't even got knobs on. These are all made here in Thailand at Siam Modular. So they've got the one voice here. I've got a little bit of drum sampling with the Erica sample drum, and this is the mixing section for everything, really. I sometimes use this Korg mini log for some of the analog sounds and various 303 clones that I have. This is the best one, this Oakley Sound Systems TB3030. And I drive it all really from the KeyStep Pro, which is kind of my instrument really, and that's what I just write. I just write a riff, write a little bit, copy it, change it, and just sort of see how it goes on the fly like that.
We had a good year going around Chiang Mai, going to festivals and a few other things around Thailand, and we're ready for another year of that.